Alright. Another work video. Dang, I'm chopped today. What the fuck? Okay. Today, I got a bunch of yap to yap about to myself, and I think the first thing that I want to talk about to myself is these headphones are annoying. But I think the first thing I want to talk to myself about is like why do I rush things so much? My hair looks funny. Why do I rush things so much, right? Like, so the first thing that always comes to my mind when I say stuff like this is my physical goals, right? So I'm getting back. I had a bodybuilding show like 2 weeks ago, right? I'm in the recovery phase. I have football starting in about a week and a half, 2 weeks, right? I am instantly trying to rush right back into lifting heavy weights like an idiot. And I know it's stupid. But there's just like an ego in my freaking heart telling me I should be why am I only repping 275 for sets of 8 to 10? I should be getting it for like 15. Or why am I not repping 315 for sets of 6? That type of thing, right? Like, and it's like, I know I've lost, bro, this whole cut, I've lost like almost 40 some pounds. Like I was real chunky, and I'm not getting that heavy ever again. I'm never bulking that far again, cause man, I was bloated, bro. Like so fat. It makes me like, I look at the pictures, I'm like, ugh, it's like traumatizing, bro. And I look at myself now, I'm like, oh, frick yeah, I feel good and everything, right? But it's like, bro, and it's just it's even that like with the bulk stuff, right? I was rushing getting to like a certain size, you know? I was rushing trying to get to like 220 lean, 220, and I wasn't lean. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, bro, I'm pretty lean. Like, no, I wasn't. I wasn't lean at all. It was disgusting, bro. I was fat. Well, I wouldn't say fat like on normal people's standards, but I was fat for my standards. Like, you could just tell by my face. Like, I was chunk. I was freaking blow maxed. I saw my abs, but that's just because I'm black and have really good genetics, bro. Like, everything was, like, really cooked on me, man, you know? And it's like, why do I always rush into things, you know? Now it's like, I'm rushing to get back into football shape because I wanted to do a bodybuilding show, because I wanted to have goals. But even the bodybuilding show I rushed into, and I don't really think I got lean enough, you know? I got third overall, which isn't bad, you know? Like, shoot, good for me, right? But, like, I wish I didn't rush into it as much, because then I would have gotten, like, I feel like if I took a little bit more time, you know, I did it a little bit better, I could have got, like, I feel like I could have gotten, with, like, how I was feeling. If I got leaner, I probably could have got my pro card this show, you know, and I think that's really the big goal for next year. And now that I have, like, a good, consistent goal, I can take it slow and, like, understand my weaknesses and, like, my arms and my legs that I need to build back up after surgery, and actually, like, realize what I need to do. But, like, rushing into that show was probably the worst thing I could have did, you know? And I probably won't do men's physique next year. I'll probably do classic or open, depending on how I feel. But, like, yeah. And it's all just because of, like, everything, man. I also feel the same thing with, like, with just, like, all my other goals. Like, I've been, like, getting into, like, some quick modeling stuff, you know, like, just, like, little photo shoots and all that stuff for, like, photographers. God, that pimple's gonna piss me off. And, like, all that stuff for photographers, and it's, like, I'm even rushing into that, you know? It's, like, I'm rushing into trying to get as much exposure as I can, trying to get, like, as much, like, help as I can with, like, all these shots, with, like, all this random stuff, man. It's, like, I could probably be taking it more slow, but, like, how much time do I really have, you know? Like, I have so much stuff going on, and it's like, what other time will I have to be able to do everything I want? Like, let's think, like, after I graduate college, how much time will I have to be able to do the stuff I want to do? Like, when school starts, how much time am I going to have to do, like, all this extra stuff? I'm going to have football, I'm going to have clinicals, I'm going to be an RA, I'm going to have a bunch of bull crap to do, you know? So it's like, there's like a balance of, like, what I can do and what I shouldn't, you know? And I don't really know how to properly, like, manage everything. But yeah, that's one thing. Then Next is like, next I feel like is something a lot of people try and like rush is relationships. I feel like I don't feel like I do this much, right? But I see a lot of people online sort of like talking like and just like looking over everything, right? And it's like, how are you guys this far in and you guys have only known each other for 3 months? Like, I could not tell somebody I don't know for that long much about me in general. Like, my closest friend, I don't even think I've told that much stuff about my life, And maybe it's because I don't like talking about myself that much, and I feel like when you're just sitting and yapping about, like, all the negative things that have happened about you, it just makes you sound like a bitch. But, like, the next girl I talked to, right? Like, if I delve into anything that's, like, actually in my heart that makes me feel uncomfortable about something, shoot, she's gotta have been there for years, bro. Like, ages, bro. Because, like, dang, this is really good. Wow, this is really, really good. Oh, my gosh. God, it's good. But, like she has been doing it for years, man. Because, like, first off, why would you tell, like, some, like, person you haven't known for that long anything about anything like that? Because, like, that's just, first off, you guys been together for, like, 3 months. You guys break up. People just love talking, man. People love talking behind your back. Like, bro, this is a funny thing. I was talking to this one girl, right? I told one dude, right? She's not even my girlfriend. In all honesty, I don't even know if I planned on making her my girlfriend. There was a lot of, like, red flags I was seeing her. And in my head, I'm like, it's a coin flip on if we're even going to become an official, like, relationship, right? I told one dude that's not, like, in my inner circle, right? And out of nowhere, I have a bunch of people questioning and asking me if I have a freaking girlfriend. Like, bro, stay out of my business. Like, how does this spread? How does it spread that fast? Like, it should not spread like wildfire like that. And that's with just something small like that. That's with something small like telling somebody you have a freaking girl, bro. Like, what? How does that happen, man? Like, it's kind of crazy to me. I don't know. Like, people just like talking and talking and talking. And it just spreads everywhere, man. It just spreads like wildfire, And it's ridiculous to me. Holy man, frick, it's just kind of insane. Like, so imagine how it'd be if you're talking to a girl and let's say you guys break up on not good terms because it's a 3-month relationship. It probably isn't on very good terms. Like, let's be real. Like, if you guys stop talking that quick, it's probably was a little major disagreement, Then what? Your freaking life story? How, like, you were sad or something and you, like, had a breakdown or some crap? Or anything, any negative thing that you opened up and told her to, right? Whole friend group knows it. She's talking shit about you. All of this negative stuff that, you actually entrusted somebody, you entrusted, like, with her, you like, opened your heart to talk to her about it. And it's out for everybody to see. Like, everybody to hear. And now you're just cooked. Like genuinely, now you're just cooked. I don't get it. Rushing into telling people everything about your life. Like, I don't even rush to tell people about my goals. That's the only reason I record these videos. So I can talk to somebody, myself, and the phone. And the 4 viewers that viewed my last video, that made me feel super happy. I was like, what? 5 views? One of them was me. But like, what? Like, bro, I was like, what? No way. This popped up on somebody's feed. What? And that's, yeah. Like, and it's like, it's just tell people stuff. Because, like, if somebody watches these videos, it's not like I'm, like, talking about, like, my inner sadness or anything. It's just me yapping. So I really don't care that much. Dang, I'm breaking out really bad and I have a whole freaking photo shoot tomorrow. But, like, yeah, it's like, I can't do that. Like, even, I have this one friend I met at the college I go to, right? I don't think I'd ever tell him anything because he just talks too much, man. I would never actually trust him with, like, any info about my life. Like, there's just some people I don't think I would actually trust with, like, real information. Everybody's not just a trustworthy person. Like, some friends you just keep as like activity friends or something, you know, and even friendships. One sec. All right, I'm back. Sorry, I had to do my job. But like, even some friends you gotta like keep us. You can't really rush into telling some people stuff because it takes a long time to actually like know what kind of person somebody is. Like, even me, I'm not a good person, bro. Like, and I try and be like open about like the things I like, the way I feel about stuff. Like when I first meet people, that's why like I'll say like a controversial take or something early into like an acquaintanceship, because like if you don't like how I say things, then just don't be around me, you know? Like, cause I don't really care if somebody shit talks me, you know? But I care if somebody shit talks me and then they're around me trying to act like we're friends. You know, that was really one of the biggest, that's something I hate about girls sometimes too, man. Not all girls, right? Some girls like actually just like talk to their friends about things, right? But one thing I've realized, and it might just be my choice and like actual woman, I'm gonna be honest. I feel like my loneliness and me wanting me to rush into like a relationship or talk to somebody, right, has led to me choosing some kind of bad woman. I won't lie, it's kind of embarrassing. Like looking back on like some of the girls I talked to, just because I wanted companionship, you know, and like just that sort of emotional like feeling of somebody else. And it's like, why are you telling all of your friends every minor dispute we have? And it's like, it's not even like, yeah, I did this, I did it, blah. It's only like how I react to it, right? And shoot, like, let me, I could probably go over something. Like, yeah, I will go over this, to be honest. So I was talking to this one girl, right? And this is one of the main reasons I started like talking into my phone. She was over at my freaking dorm, right? You know, like, cause I had to go to work and she just wanted to stay, and I was like, whatever. We were talking. I'd say we were talking for like 2 months, probably. I'd say about that time. You know, I go to work. You know, in my head, I'm still like, you know, listening at the pros and cons of like with her before we like make everything official and stuff. I go to the gym first. I go to the gym before work, right? Because it's right next to each other. So I go to the gym. I get a good freaking lift, a little sauna workout. I'm doing cardio. Then out of nowhere, I'm getting a call, bro, and it's like from my homeboy. He's like, bro, blah blah blah, crying, all this stuff, right? And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? Like, what? I'm not answering this. I'm at the gym, bro. I don't deal with issues in my life while I'm at the gym. That's the whole point of the gym. Then I'm looking at my text and it's like, blah blah. What are you talking? I'm like, bro, what? What? I haven't even done anything, bro. I'm like, I've been starving myself for bodybuilding prep. Unbeknownst to me, I find out this girl, first off, went through my journal, right? Read my personal things, right? And you know, whatever, right? Whatever. It's not like I'm committing crimes, right? Whatever. Then, right? And this is what blew me. I started talking to this like girl in May, early May, right? She goes through my journal all the way to February, right? February, March, where I was talking to these 2 girls, right? Literally talking, just talking, right? Testing out the waters, talking to these 2 girls. What's it called? Hung out with the one time. Didn't even do nothing, right? Then she goes, acts like I'm a horrible guy, right? Promise you, put this on my life. I wasn't even talking to these girls when we were together. Bro, I wouldn't do that to somebody. Like, I don't play with people's feelings. Acts like I was messing with other girls behind her back or something like that, right? Starts crying nonstop, right? And I'm like, what the heck are you talking about? Right? I don't fall into genjutsu like that, bro. If a girl starts crying around me, I don't care. Like, I really do not give a crap. Like, I sometimes I start laughing. Let me not say this, I don't care. Sometimes I do start laughing, though, because I'm like, I always know it's bullshit, bro. Like, no, I don't care, bro. I don't care. Especially when I didn't do nothing wrong. If I did something wrong and I feel bad, I'm like, fuck. That's my bad, bro. That's my bad. But I didn't do nothing wrong. Like, I genuinely did nothing wrong. She invaded my personal privacy, and then she went through looking to find something, you know? Whatever. I gotta do my job again. Okay, I'm back. And then she went through looking to find something, right? And she found something from 3 months before I even met her. Like, before I even met her, right? So then, like, a week after, it's just bullcrap. It's like, she's like constantly talking, trying to act like I did something wrong and like calling me like an attention whore and like an attention seeking slut, and I'm like, yeah, I love attention, bro. I fucking bodybuild. Of course I like attention. I did a bodybuilding show just for myself, man. You know, like obviously, but I don't look for attention from women. I'm naked on stage. I'm just looking to get it. Congrats, bro. I don't care about all that. She's like, blah, 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 like, and I'm just like, after a certain point, you're just like, really? How much am I gonna deal with just for a little bit of companionship, bro? I got my Pikachu freaking plushie to cuddle with at night, man. And throughout like the whole relationship, it's just like, I would say I'm not the best at talking about things, right? But I feel like if you get mad at me for not talking about like how I feel about something because I feel like it's not gonna lead nowhere, how does that make me a bad person, you know? And so I drop things pretty fast, you know? Like I feel like I'm real right here. I drop things so fast. I feel like if this girl that did this said sorry and like made it up like in some way to show she was sorry, I'd probably forgive her. Like it's so real, bro. I am way too forgiving sometimes to certain people, and I genuinely I don't like that. I don't know why, but I just forgive people a little bit too much, and I don't know. It's a mix of like a bunch of things. Like yeah, I wanna everybody deserves a little chance. Blah blah blah. A bunch of like bull crap, right? But I think it's also just because I don't like it when people don't forgive me for making a mistake. You know, like I feel like I've made a bunch of mistakes in my life, and if people didn't forgive me, or when people don't forgive me, you know, when I genuinely feel remorse, kind of feel some type of way, you know, especially when it's not a big mistake. Everybody makes small things, you know, and it's like I would forgive them. I would forgive the person, but it's and like most time when somebody does something to me, in my mind I'm like I don't even care anymore. I forgive them, you know. It's when you're getting mad at me for not getting mad. Like, bro, I remember we were having a talk, and it's like, and I'm like, I don't know. She randomly texts me like, can we call? We need to talk about it. I'm like, talk about what? That's the first thing I said. I'm like, talk about what? She's like, Ush. And I'm like, how are you going to talk to me about it? Because every time we try to talk about something, you're always mad, yelling, and like acting like I'm doing something wrong, right? And I'm like, it irritates me. I say that, right? Pretty much word for word, right? Over text. Simple. And she's like, irritated how you feel? And I'm like, she's like, irritated? That's the emotion you're feeling right now? I'm like, that was like, I was like, what? Wait, what? Like, what do you expect me to feel? Freaking destruction, anger? You don't mean that much in my life, you know? I think we're cutting off a little bit real quick. We're deviating from this topic. We'll come back. I think people think they mean so much more in other people's lives than they really should. Like, I swear. There's no reason for you to think that one negative, like, back and forth that we had ruined my whole day. Or you made me fuming. And I don't know, maybe to some other people it really makes them that mad. But, like, every single, like, I don't know, maybe it's just because in my heart, I really did not, like, care about the person that much. You know, I was like, because first off, I'm still testing the waters. I'm seeing the bad and good in the person, bro. Like, if a person I barely knew, you know, like I took one class with him, you know, we talked like 3 times. If I barely and they said some bullshit about me. They said like, yeah, he's a fucking weirdo. I'd probably think like, huh, am I weird? Yeah, probably. What did I say? And then go about my day like I wouldn't care that much. I don't know you. You're a weirdo for talking about me. Like what? I'm not gonna go dwell on it, bro. Like, who cares? I think the only person's opinion I care about that much might be my dad's. Like, everything my dad says about me, I kind of, oh shit, okay. Or my brothers. And when they're actually like talking about stuff, if my brother actually said something, if any of my brothers said something about that, or they were like, Makai, you're disappointed. I'm like, that'd break my heart. I'd be like, fuck, I'm a bad older brother, you know? My sister too, of course, but you know, I just say my brothers because there's a bunch of us. But like, yeah, any of them, you know, that'd break my heart. Some random person, some random girl I've only been talking to, bro, acquaintances of a year and a half that I've known all college. I wouldn't care either. Like what? If let's be real, if you know me so little that you can say something about my back instead of saying it to me, I don't give a fuck about you. Like, you know, it's like, And I feel like some people do give a fuck about it, you know? Like, after like that whole dispute with the girl, right? About how she was like, yeah, you irritate me, blah blah. And I broke down everything that she does and has done that's irritating me that I have not said anything about, right? And I was like, and then because she was like complaining about like all the shit I did, right? That I've actually tried to talk to her about, right? Because I'm like, okay, you don't let me go on the raves, cool. I understand that. I won't do that, blah blah blah. Because I the whole time we were talking, I obviously didn't. That's disrespectful, you know. Raves are kind of just me. Kind of go to raves just for hugs, you know. Like raves and fucking techno music that fucks my ears up, gives me tinnitus. Like if I have a girl, I don't really need to be going there without her, you know. So I understand that. But then everything else, she's like, you post yourself shirtless, and I'm like, yeah, I post myself shirtless on a TikTok with like 500 followers, and my Instagram with like 500 followers because I'm a freaking bodybuilder and I love Instagram's the best place to post my progress. You know how nice it is to go through my highlights and look, oh, that was 6 months ago. What? I was so small. And you just keep going, what? And it's just happiness. He's cooking up straight happiness, bro. You know? Or when I go through like my fit pics, bro, and I'm like, oh, my style has gotten way better. And I'm like, yeah, my style has gotten way better, bro. Like, oh my god, but the fit back then, bro. Look at the fit now. It's like, yo, we're cooking, bro. Why would I not want to do that? Like, bro, what? And it's not even like, you know how some of those gym guys be like taking the sluggish pics ever? My shit's literally just side chest, side try, you know, front, most muscular, front of the body. I got a vaccine, you know. It's just that stuff. Like, and she's like, you posted for the girls. I'm like, I can show you who likes my story. It's a bunch of guys, my dude. Like, it's a bunch of guys, and they slide up and they're like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, like, you know. I'm like, if I was posting for girls, my posting would be way different. Like, you know, there's posting for yourself, right? Just post because it's a social media, and there's posting for the attention of somebody else, you know. And I really do think my attention is really to get the attention of like other dudes, which is kind of gay, but like, I don't know how to say. I don't know how to feel about that because like. I feel like I care more about like how other bros feel about me than some girls. If I like, unless the girl is my partner, I could really care less about how they feel about me, you know. And then like, if a girl does think I'm jacked, that's awesome, cool, bro. You know. This if anybody I know finds this and they just clip that shit, it's gonna be funny. Excuse me. You know, and then I don't know. This one's always been like a kind of weird point for me. Why is it like such a big deal to be following the opposite gender, right? When you're in a relationship, right? And I mean strictly just following them, right? So I worked at a gym, right? Everybody who went into the gym that I talked to more than twice, I followed them on Instagram. Especially because that was right when I got a new Instagram. I was following everybody, you know? I was trying to just get followers because obviously you want clout, bro. Like what? Duh. So I was just following everybody. Any girl like went in there to talk to platonically. Like no girl from the gym. Yeah, no girl from the gym I talked to in any way that wasn't platonic. Because like, shoot, first off, I think that's kind of weird. Trying to hit on a girl as a gym worker, it gives a little creepy vibes. And also, I wasn't really interested in any of them. I was like fresh off breakup, all that stuff. I was like, whatever, right? So cool. I was fresh off everything. I just wanted the followers, I wanted friends. Cool. I get like a good amount of followers. I'd say probably 70-30. 70 guys, 30 females, 30% women, right? Cool. You know? I go to raves, get a few girls, get a few guys, you know? I'm talking to dudes. We're like, yo, this shit's tough, bro. Talk to a few girls. Your fit's so fire. Thank you. You know? Back and forth, right? Most of these people I'll never see again. Like, let's be real. Most of the people I see on their stories, some cool shit, I'm like, yo, that's fire. Yo, because I'm a chronic Instagram slide upper, bro. With everybody, I'm like, yo, same, bro. Yo, bro, blah, blah, blah. I see people's reposts, I'm like, yeah, you're fucking stupid. Like, I do that all the time. And it's I don't know, some people see it as weird. I feel like it's the point of social media, right? So every time this comes up, it's always, why are you following these girls? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I can literally go through every freaking person in my following and give you an exact rundown on why I follow them. Oh yeah, I work with her. I work with her. I work with her. I work with her. Oh yeah, she's an RA. I work with her. RA. Oh yeah, she's in my nursing class. I'm a nursing major. It's literally straight girls. I'm gonna follow the people I'm in school with, cause who else is gonna give me the freaking homework when I forget to do it at 11:50 at night? Them, of course. Like what? And like, I'll say something like this, right? And he'll be like, well, blah blah blah. I'm like, why is it an issue? Like, because the way I see it, right? If I'm gonna cheat on a girl, right? The fuck is an Instagram follower gonna stop me? Like, if I feel like I could get away with it, right? And I wanted to cheat on a girl, which I wouldn't. I think that's so scummy, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like, and I was gonna cheat on a girl. What would me unfollowing her on Instagram do? I unfollow her on Instagram. I remove her as a follower. If she was down for me, I could still text her, or I'd have her number, or blah 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 blah. Like, what is Instagram gonna do? What is me unfollowing her on Instagram gonna do? Like, generally, what is a girl following me on Instagram going to do negatively for our relationship? At all, right? And it's always like do your options. Let me be real. If I had that many options, I don't think I'd even keep you around. Like, if I had that many options that were better than you, that were just so worth it, right? Why would I be around you? I wanted to say that, right? But I just always say it as like if I had that many options, what would stop me from only talking to you? You know, like, because it's always that. It's always options, right? It's always the fear of not being good enough, right? But I'm like, if you're that fearful, then why are you even like coming towards me? You know, why are you even like talking to me? If you're that fearful that I'm like such a whore or like anything like that, right? Why are you talking to me? And I feel like next time, if I'm ever in a situation again, I bring that up, and there's anything other than like, if they're like, because you can't really answer that question. Like, the answer, because I feel like you are, then don't talk to me, right? Like, in all honesty, if you see me that way, don't talk to me. And if they're like, well, you're not, but blah, 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 it's like, if I'm not, and you know that, then why are we bringing this up? Like, there's no way for you to win that, like, in all honesty. Like, even if you bring up something like with your ex, I'm like, it wouldn't have stopped your ex if you followed them or not. I'm not following my ex. I'm not following no girls I've ever talked to. Because, in all honesty, I really don't have that many I've talked to. But, like, or anything like that. So why is an issue? You know? And it's like, it just doesn't make sense to me sometimes. I feel like people overthink the things they really shouldn't be overthinking, you know? It's like, you're overthinking that. You should, like, overthink how I'm really questioning if I should keep you around because of, like, the decisions you make, you know? And how every time we have a minor dispute, I get talked about, I get made sound like a horrible guy, and then you have your friends talk about me, saying I don't even, like, care for you, right? Or I'm not even, like, trying to work a relationship with you, which makes you sit and overthink things, and then now you're saying I don't like you at all, but if I didn't like you at all, you would not be in my life. Like, I don't know what some people have went through that makes them think you would want to keep somebody in your life that you don't like. But bro, if I don't like you, you're not in my circle. People learn that firsthand. If I don't like a lot of people from high school, you know, if a lot of people from freshman year, if I don't like you or you've done something to me that's made me be like, you're not a long-term friend, I can't depend on you, you're blah blah blah, any of that, or you just talk too much, like talk about like our inside conversations too much, we're not boys, bro. You're out of my circle. Like, it's quick and simple like that. And they'll be like, well, we don't talk that much. No. Yeah, cause we're not friends. You've gotten demoted, bro. You're not even an acquaintance. You're probably an acquaintance. Or whatever is right below an acquaintance. I don't really know how the levels of friendship work, to be honest. But like, you're not my boy no more. Like, it's literally just it. Like, I talked to maybe from high school. Consistently, I talked to one dude, I think. I think, yeah. Wow, wait, now that I'm thinking about that. Is he really only? Wow, wait, are we for real? Maybe, okay, two-ish. One kid was like, he was a freshman, I was a senior. And he was just like my little protege. And like, I yapped it up with him, and now that I graduated, I feel like I've talked to him more, But like two people from high school. And just like, I won homecoming king, prom king, captain of the football team, right? I talked to a lot of people, I don't talk to none of these people no more. Because none of them I really cared about. It's just, I gotta be around these people every day, I might as well talk to them. And I play football with these guys, I gotta talk to them. And I'm in key club with these people, I gotta talk to them. And I have nobody else to talk to at lunch, I might as well talk to them. Like, that's really it, Like, what have people went through that makes them think, if I don't enjoy your presence, I'm going to keep you around? And like, I think she's understanding that right now, like, cause she blocked me out like everything, right? After like I was like, yeah, you just don't want to listen to anything I have to say. If you're not gonna listen to anything, then please don't text me. She gets mad at me for that. Blocks me on Instagram, blocks me on TikTok, blocks my number. I don't know. I haven't talked to her. I just saw her accounts disappear. She was like the main person I talked to on social media. So, obviously. So now I see all that stuff disappear. I'm like, okay, that's stupid. Like, I didn't think it was that deep, but okay, right? And I think she let it go for like a week, right? She kept me on like TikTok for like 3 weeks after we stopped talking, right? And it's like, were you trying to like just wait on me to text you, or what was the deal? And like, I swear, it was like that every time. Every time we had like a minor disagreement, I'm like, why are you doing this? Why blah 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 blah? And she's like, she'll say something crazy. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Leave it like that, right? And I think she wanted me to text and apologize. But I don't apologize for things I'm not sorry for. And I don't apologize when I'm not in the wrong. If I'm not in the wrong, the most apology you'll get is, I'm sorry, what I did made you feel like that, but I feel like blah, 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 right? I'm not apologizing if I'm not sorry. Like, you're smoking crack. That defeats the whole purpose of an apology. Like, that's stupid. So, I think she'd always wait on me to apologize, but I'm not apologizing if I'm not sorry. So then, it just it was just a continuous cycle, right? I felt it was like every 2 weeks. She's just getting mad over some BS, right? Like, I wouldn't skip the gym and stay back with her. Gets mad. Oh, I'd say, yeah, why are you saying stupid stuff like that? Because she'd say something absurd, and I'm like, yeah, don't text me again if you want to say stuff like that, right? Then she'll say something like, okay, block me. And it's just like, okay, yeah, I left down red. And then like 3 days later, she'll text me over some BS, right? And it's like, in my head now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, wow, maybe I like the drama from like kind of crazy girls, or I was really desperate for like any sort of like human connection, right? Because like I'm talking about in these videos, I really don't have that many friends. Like, I feel like one of my closest friends, right? I'm in Chicago. He lives in St. Louis, I talked to bro a good amount, He was my closest friend freshman year. I'm going into my junior year. We were best buds all freshman year. But then he dropped out and he moved back home, My other friend, best pal in high school, wrestled together. We're still boys, I talk to him probably every day, every other day, Because it's summer, we're both bored. We're catching up, When football season starts, I'll probably talk to him once a week, The usual. Bro friendship. After that, I might have 3. Oh, wait, I got one more. One guy who lives in my college town, he's become like one of my closest friends in this like year and a half I've known him. So he counts too. But like, after that, it's just like, I might have 2-3 guys that I'll talk to. I don't even know if they're friends, to be honest, because I don't really tell them like personal shit about my life, but that's really it, So I think I was really craving that type of like feeling from a partner, which caused more of a landslide of how I reacted to certain events, Because, in all honesty, I don't think I was that big of a negative factor in a relationship, especially how most of the time any of the negatives was just things she was trying to pull up about me, like how I was talking to girls before, or how like I go to raves, or how like I'm a football player and all football players are freaking bad guys, or like how I post my physique on the internet, and that's literally where all arguments stem from. And I understand, like, if I'm in a relationship, insecurity, everybody has insecurities. I have insecurities, you have insecurities, everybody does, right? But allowing your insecurities to go that deep without, like, even listening to what the other person has to say kind of says a few things about, like, you as a person. And so, I don't know, like, I don't know how I could have handled it better, because I don't know if I could have handled it better, but I just know in my head, if I was doing that to a girl and she was actually putting up with it, I'd have to sit back and think, like, what the fuck, wait. Like, if I was in a girl's shoes and it was, like, something like that, and like, I would not put up with that, If a guy was constantly bringing up anything and everything, right, just to start an argument. Especially when, like, I was already, like, starving myself for my show. I was recovering from my ACL surgery. Had some family stuff going on, I'd tell her this, right? I'd be like, yo, blah, blah, blah. I'm not trying to be a jerk. I'm not trying to, like, be distant, but, I got this stressful stuff. We're good. Just don't overthink it. Even after all that, still more and more stuff piling up, and it's like, bro, can we, like, chill? Like, can we chill, bro? It's just all that. So I don't know. Stupid stuff. Womp womp, right? But, yeah, and that all goes full circle into, like, rushing things. And how me rushing into, like, a relationship, and I'm gonna be honest, pretty not too far off of when, like, me and my long-term relationship broke up. Whoa, it's only been, like, 8 months. Whoa, I'm like looking at the clock. Wow. What? That is insane. That's insane. Wow. That's, whew, man. We broke up in freaking end of December, right? Like, it was after Christmas, but before New Year's, right? I remember because I literally bought her a plane ticket to come see me because we were long distance, right? It wasn't crazy long distance, but we were long distance, right? And I bought her a plane ticket. We broke up. I couldn't get a refund on that fucking plane ticket. It was $450. Platinum Goofy Award, bro. Platinum Goofy Award. I'll never do something like that again. Goodness. But, like, yeah, right? So, I did all that. Wanted to freaking slime her out, right? But it's like, whatever, bro. We broke up. It is what it is. And I feel like I got over, like, it kind of emotionally pretty quick. Because I had more important stuff going on. I was, like, Gramps, ongoing stuff with him. My knee, I literally just got my fucking knee sliced open. I didn't know if I could even play football again, Got a whole knee reconstruction. Like, I freaking had a Nick Chubb bat injury. It's like, wow. I didn't know what to do with my time. I wasn't even thinking about it for real. Like, that was the thing. I had so much in my life. I wasn't thinking about it. So that all happened. And then about, like I was saying, end of April, early May, I started talking to her, which is only like 4 or 5 months after me and my ex broke up. And me and my ex were together for over 2 years, almost 3, So, like, that's a big shift, And I feel like I wasn't used to a different type of girl. So I was letting a lot of stuff slide. I was letting a bunch of stuff slide. And I feel like that was what kind of made me continue pushing on with this stuff longer. Because I really should not have kept it out that long, But yeah, I don't know. Case in point, the video is already 40 minutes long. I'm not cutting none of this. I would never cut any of these videos until I get to, like, I don't know, 50 subscribers. Then maybe I'll start cutting it. If I even ever get to 50 subscribers, right? Like, but that's, yeah, I feel like I rush into too many things. I feel like I'm going to rush into this football season. I don't think I'm fully healthy. I feel like I rushed into this job. I feel like I'm going to rush into class. I rushed into putting a lot of responsibilities on my plate with nursing, art, and football on top of having a job. on all of that, like I have no free time for myself. I feel like I rush. I think my biggest goal is just to not rush into the next big factor in my life. Like I don't want to rush into my next relationship. I don't want to rush into like my first job. Like after I graduate in a year. I don't want to rush into like anything. Like when I graduate, I don't want to rush into getting a big apartment for myself. None of that stuff. I want to just take it slow. And because I don't think I've been doing that, and I need to slow down. I feel like first off being the oldest and not having any example ahead of me, right? Because my parents are really young, you know. They're not even double my age. If you could just put that in your mind, and I'm 20, so they're not even double my age, and they're very young, right? And Five Nights at Freddy's has a job. Sitting looking at cameras, but and like I feel like other than my dad, right? And I love my dad. My dad's a great example, amazing example. Other than that man working his butt off maybe a little bit too much. I feel like he might work a little bit too much. He needs to relax before he has a freaking stroke. He's an amazing example. But other than that, I've had nobody else to base my life off of. So I feel like sometimes I kind of push myself a little bit too hard in all directions, and I want to rush into it. I want to rush into my mom seeing I have a good girlfriend, a long-term partner, a wife, because I want to get married. I want a long-term relationship. I don't want no freaking what's the point of dating for short term? I want a long-term relationship. I want a girl I can wake up after practice, be like, fuck, it's just not a good day. I'm not feeling it, and I want somebody to lift my mood a little bit. I don't think that's crazy. I don't think that's crazy acts even for man. I want something like that. I want her to be able to tell me what I do that makes her mad, so I can hopefully fix it. Those type of things. I want to graduate with my degree. I want to hopefully get my master's while still being able to play football. And I want to be a nurse anesthesiologist, because I want big goals, I want to be an RA, pay off my room and board, no college debt. I just got to add more responsibilities, and I feel like it's been like that for ages. I played 3 sports high school. I was in clubs, all honor student, honor roll, all 4 years. 3.9 GPA. I know. I got a 1D. I got a D sophomore year. I'm a bad guy, right? Athlete of the year. Scholar athlete of the year. Freaking, what's it called? Dean's list in college. Like, all these things just because I want to be, like, as good as I can. Because I feel like when I'm not pushing myself, I'm doing nothing. Like, this past 2 weeks after my show, my workouts have been, like, subpar. Because I'm just starting football training again. And I'm just recovering from a fucking bodybuilding show. I feel like crap. I don't even got an appetite. Like, in all honesty. I still have no appetite. My stomach's like, it feels full all the time. Like, it's 3:20 a.m. I get off at 7. I'm going to scarf down this Greek yogurt in like an hour. So by the time I get off, I can go to sleep and then wake up for the stuff I have at noon. I'm going to get like noonish. I'll probably wake up at 11:40. Just head straight out. Wash my face, shave, head straight out, just so I can make it there in time. And it's like, even that, like, this video is going to be an hour long, I guess. Even that, it's like, I'm rushing in that, bro. I can't even take a slow morning. Like, cause like, I have so much on my plate. It's either I wake up and I get straight into everything, or I rush my recovery and sleep and I get less sleep and I get straight into everything and I gotta take things slow, Like, and I'm gonna be real, I don't know which one's the better option. Cause they're both really hard on me. And I feel like a lot of things are hard on me. Because I just don't know how to handle everything. I have to handle being an older brother too on top of this. I have so many siblings. I gotta talk to my brothers, man. Like, I want to call my little brother, play Roblox with him. I want to call my other little brother. He has nobody like who like has the same interests as him other than me. I want to call him. I want to play Pokemon with him. I want to talk to him about bullcrap. I want to talk shit to him. Then I got my other little brother. I wanna be able to talk to him. He's getting older. He's gonna turn 17 soon. I wanna be their dad isn't really in their life, you know. I wanna be like a father figure to him. I wanna talk to him. He's always like, when are you coming back? When are you signing back? And I'm like, I don't know, man. I just have so much. I have so much I gotta do. And it's like, I don't know when I can make time for all of this stuff. There's only so much time in a day. Like, I'm working overnight shifts while I have football. And I have other stuff, and I'm alright, and I gotta handle all this stuff, you know? And it's like, how do you manage this stuff, man? It's gonna, like, I don't know. I remember last year I was talking to myself, and I'm like, in the long run, am I gonna have like a freaking mental breakdown? And I feel like I did last year. I just didn't know I was having one. You know, I was like, I think I was having like a manic episode. It's the first time I drank in like ages. I was like doing a bunch of stupid stuff. I was like, man, am I okay? Like, genuinely, I didn't know what was up with me, bro. I didn't know what was going on, like, mentally. And I'm like, I don't want to have one of those again, you know? And I feel like this is one way to help myself. It just helps me a lot. Because at least I'm talking to somebody about all my issues. And at least I know I'm being heard by myself. You know, when you're just writing this stuff down, it's going. But I feel like it just becomes hate speech at this point. You know, it just becomes anger. At least this, I feel like I'm kind of having a conversation. Because there's nobody in my life I could really talk to about, like, all my stuff. Ah, man. So, yeah. I don't know. A lot of rushing. A lot of stressfulness. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to handle this.